Hello, it's Sunday. We are live for day one of our Live and Thrive. So when you're hopping on, please say hi. Give me an emoji that tells me how you're feeling or how your day was. I'll tell you about mine when I've got a few more of you joined live. So I'm really excited about these 3 days. Hello, Anne-Marie, look at you. Am I on your telly, Anne-Marie? Give me a thumbs up if I'm on your telly. That's a scary thought, to think that I'm filling your living room. What about everybody else that might want to watch the telly? All they've got is this strange woman waffling on at them. I think you've been binge watching today though, haven't you, by the fact that you've commented on a few of the old trainings, and it's all good. It is all good. Sarah binge, love it. So tell me in a little emoji how your day has been. I've had quite an interesting day. My feet are killing me now because I've been clearing out my garage. So as many of you know, I recently had my kitchen done, which was a massive mess, and they used the garage as their cutting place when it rained, of course. So it was full of sawdust. So everything's come out of the garage, it's been swept, it's been cleared up, and everything's gone back in the garage today, which, God, when I thought of it, it was like, oh, that'll be an hour. No, most of the day. Feet are killing. I've got bug bites. So I've got a cork in one here. Can you see this one? Is that show? Yeah, look at that. It's like an egg. I've got another one of those on my ankle. So painful. Horrid. Mozzies love me. I'm super tasty. Caroline, hello. So yeah, give me something to tell me the comments are working. I'm hoping you are all good. How was your day? How's your Sunday? How are you feeling on this Sunday night? And what you're drinking? What's your accompaniment? Is it chocolate? Is it tea? Is it a biscuit? Have you got some wine? Have you got some Prosecco? Have you got a cup of coffee? I have beer, which I'm not going to slurp, but I'm going to have a little one now. Cool, comments are working. Caroline can hear me. Okay, so as you come on, please say hello to me. I know who I've got then. I know about lots of you, and I can relate what I'm telling you to what I know you're doing, what you're working towards, what your business model looks like, and it's more meaningful for you. It feels less like I'm just talking to myself, and we can go a little bit deeper with what it is. So let me just tell you about these next 3 days then, and why did I put it together. So many of you joined the group just at the time we did the last challenge. So we did a 5-day, we sort of went on a bit of a journey around when do you know it's right to change your sort of path, what do you want to do, what do you know already that you can use to take yourself forward into your own business, and then what are the practical steps. And I love doing that. There were some days I loved it more than others, and I will change it next time I do it. Then I did a mastermind, which was on the client attraction piece. So that was all about how to get clients without having a massive budget, because that was the biggest thing that people were telling me as I was talking to them, that yes, it's great to be really enthusiastic and have all of these tips, these hints. Joanna, hi, lovely to see you here. Thank you for coming on live and saying hello, super bonus. But until you've actually got clients coming towards you, it still feels like you're sort of playing about, doesn't it? So I did a separate masterclass on that, and I know lots of you, as I say, requested to join the group because of that. But what this is effectively like the best bits of. So rather than go, oh, I don't know where to start, there's so much content in both of those pieces, I just thought I'd bring them all together and to really be able to be a bit more focused for you guys and what it is you were telling me you needed, what it is you wanted. So the way that we'll do it is we're doing a different topic each day. Today we're going to do those practical steps piece. Tomorrow we are doing the piece around marketing and how to find your clients and how to bring them towards you without having an ads budget. And then the final day we're going to talk more about, so what happens when you've got all the practical stuff in place, what else is missing. So there's a piece around you and how you're aligned, you're taking action that you love doing and that you feel that it is going to work for you. So that's on the final day on Tuesday. So before we start, those of you who are on, just tell me in like 2 or 3 words, what's the business that you are either working on already. You might be in the early days, you might have tried for 6 months, whatever it is, however long. What's the business that you do? Because as I say, that just gives me a good gauge as to who we've got, what's the breadth. When I'm making a point and trying to use examples, I will try and use your industry or your particular businesses, because it makes it a bit more real, doesn't it? It makes it a bit more relatable. So tell me, type away. That also tells me that you're still with me, that you can hear me, and that the commenting works. So Caroline, I fully expect your comment to be first, because they always are. I'm just fidgeting in my chair, sorry. I'm just going to try. My feet are so sore after being out in flip-flops, isn't it? All day long, outside in flip-flops. Ah, Joanna, first one, fabulous. Usborne books at home, brilliant. Yeah, I'm familiar with those, so that's yeah, great products, love them. We've had them loads. So you're not going to tell me, you're just going to laugh, because I know what you do already, don't I? Okay, right. So we've got 8 people. Say hello as you're dropping on. Please don't be shy. Don't be sitting in the background there. Okay, so here we go. Coaching, mindfulness, mental health. Yeah, okay. Your comment box is disabled. It's not, because you're here now. I can see your comment. I think that might be your settings, but I can see your comment. Pauline, absolutely, it's coming through absolutely fine. So yeah, I don't know why. Everybody's able to comment. Yay, lots of people saying hi now. Hello, Anna. TV connection not working. Oh, rubbish. Trying to establish it. Yeah, so VA business. So if you're dropping on, everyone joining is just telling me what it is your business is going to be. Yeah, I can hear you, I can see you. I can't hear you, obviously I can see your comments. So, while you're doing that, while you're finishing telling me that, it's really easy, isn't it, when you first kind of make that decision, you go, right, I'm going to embrace this new thing. I'm going to do something new with my life, and this is what I'm going to do. These are the ideas that I've got. This is how I'm going to take myself forward. And you kind of get all pumped and enthusiastic, and you're like that kind of excited child that goes, yes, and I'm going to this, and I'm going to this, and there's loads of passion and loads of energy. Oh, brilliant, I am seeing these, digital marketing. So Anna, just tell me what your business will be, and I think we might have everybody. So while you're all sort of pumped and you're full of this kind of, yes, and I could this, and I could this, and the ideas might be coming really easily, you might have lots of ideas about how you want to deliver your product, who you want to serve, how you want to reach them, and all of this stuff kind of starts coming quite quickly, quite easily, and it's great fun as well in the early days. Let's not try and make it as, oh no, everything's a slog. It probably you decided to do it because you've got a passion for something, you enjoyed it. There's still the kind of that, it's a bit like a relationship, isn't it? It's that sort of flush of the first few days when, oh yeah, no, it's all amazing, and you can't see any of the bad bits, and it's all just great. But actually that doesn't last, does it? It's like that initial sort of flush of feeling goes, and then if you haven't attracted customers during that sort of big growth period that you put yourself through, suddenly it's sort of like, well, hang on a minute, I've put all like these great ideas, I've had all this passion, I've had this massive enthusiasm, but I might not have been able to attract the clients through that period of time. So now what? Emma, hello, lovely to see you. Anna, thank you, network marketing. Fab, did I miss any of them? Anna, bookkeeping. Okay, so 2, yeah, bookkeeping, and we've got another Anna. We've got 2 Annas, that's confusing. So welcome, Anna, network marketing, brilliant. So, okay. So you end up with this, you've had all the ideas, you've had lots of enthusiasm, you've kind of hit that, now what? I haven't got any clients. And you know what? That is always, it's about the same time that people start asking you, how's your business going? Oh, have you got any clients yet? And they're meaning very kind thoughts, I'm sure they are. But I so remember how that felt, that I'd kind of been out and gone, right, I'm doing this, I've made this decision, it's been probably overdue for a while, this is where I'm going to go, I'm going to do this, and I'm feeling really great about it. And they all go, oh yeah, well done, you know, your friends, your family, your extended family, anyone that you tell about it, oh brilliant. And then of course next time you're in any sort of conversation with them, they go, oh, how was that thing you were setting up? Weren't you going to, you know, be a millionaire? Or and you kind of dread it. In the end, you start dreading it, because if you haven't got the clients, or you haven't got enough clients to pay for the business to actually generate that income, it starts feeling a bit like, oh God, they're going to ask, what am I going to say? And you start creating these stories around why you haven't yet. Now that's just one issue. That's the client attraction piece that we're going to cover in loads of detail tomorrow. But what else is there? So tell me, share with me now, what's as you sit here right now listening to me tonight, what's your single biggest business challenge? It might be clients, it might be the fact that you've had to change because of a physical contact is required for what you do. But tell me, have a think, tell me, you should know, what is it? What is it that's stopping you being in the place that you want to be in right now? Why aren't you there already? What stopped you doing that? And while you're typing those in, I just want to compare the business piece to, use the analogy of running a marathon. Now, I don't know whether or not anyone has run a marathon. I haven't. I do a little bit of running. And yeah, they say that running a marathon is only part physical and part mental, isn't it? But running a marathon, as we know, is very much a long-term commitment to the training program, to the getting through the physical training, but then also getting your head in the right space. And running a business is really similar to that. So if you sign up for a marathon and you get accepted, you get that kind of initial, oh my gosh, I've been accepted, it's going to be amazing, I'm going to run in New York, or I guess they're not doing it, are they, at the moment? But you know, when you can, and it's so exciting, right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to really start enthusiastically. And then you sort of hit that point where it gets really hard. But that's where you start to need some more specific steps to follow, some measures to put in place, some actionable strategies that you can start to actually roll out, because it's almost like, yeah, I've got going, and then. And if you don't turn it around quite quickly and get back into that curve of positivity, that's where the businesses fail. And that's where so many people go, oh my goodness, this is really hard now. I can't find clients, I can't get leads, I can't do this, I can't do the other. I'm so passionate about what I want to do, but I need to be able to find these people to be able to deliver my thing to. And that's where people give up. So I want you to consider just slowing down a little bit as well, because I was absolutely guilty of this, and at times I probably still am. I want things quickly. If I don't see results, I want to change it and do something else. And the whole thing about being consistent for me is frustrating, and I have to sort of rein myself back in and go, yeah, but it is growing, it is changing, and it is evolving. So actually considering your business as more like, this is going to be like running the marathon. You know, you've got to train yourself, you've got to train your body, you've got to train your mind, you've got to understand what your market's doing, you've got to get in touch with your ideal client, you've got to do all of these things before you're ready. And actually, I'm pretty sure that everybody realises there aren't really truly these overnight millionaires, unless, you know, there's hardly any on there. It's very, very few and far between. It's about building something and finding a niche and building and building and building, repeating, growing, scaling, and actually being able to be comfortable in the speed that you're going as well. So you're always in your own position. It doesn't matter whether you're almost sort of following along with someone that does exactly what you do. It's always your race. It's you that's delivering the service. It's your life. It's your business. So being able to say, do you know what? I'm in this for the marathon, and I'm going to be, you know, like the slow and steady. Are you the tortoise or are you the hare? It's different for everyone, but understanding that you have to give these things time. You have to obviously apply the actions and take the steps towards it. You can't sit back and wait for it, but taking those actions consistently are going to be able to get you there, but being patient will as well. So let me just have a look at what is stopping you, what your challenges are at the moment. So client attraction. Yeah, so where do you find them? Where are all these people that are desperate for your service? You've got to find them, you've got to tap into them. So yeah, doing that tomorrow, Anne-Marie, in loads of detail. Sales, okay. And I think that was one of the posts today that I put out to say, you know, I think it was yesterday, who likes or dislikes sales. We're going to touch on sales, but not massively over these 3 days. There's always an element of sales as part of what we do. Can't work out where your clients are. Yeah, client attraction and confidence to go and get them. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Even if somebody's sort of presented you with your ideal client and said, okay, that was Caroline, wasn't it? Here you go, Caroline, here's your ideal client. Off you go, have a chat. You know, what would that mean for you? Would you be just like, oh, I don't know what to say? Or could you then end up having that conversation and taking it forward? So, you know, it's one thing finding them, but then the other thing actually knowing what you deliver has got value and being able to present it in exactly the right way that you know is going to hit the spot for that client, because then the sales piece is so much easier. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do the sales thing, don't we? Oh, you've got to be amazing at selling to be able to work for yourself. You have, but actually what I'm a massive advocate of is that sales is like the tiny portion at the end of the interaction until you've got somebody over the line and they're now a customer of yours. There's a whole heap of stuff done before that, and if you've got that part in place, that bit right, then the sales pieces should be just a little nudge over the line to actually be able to serve them properly. Joanna, more team members needed to earn enough to work from home full time. Okay, so that's the recruitment process of having the right people, presumably, that are going to be able to take that forward. Pauline says half marathon. Well done you. Okay, so 4 pillars. Let me just get rid of this screen because it's really distracting me. Okay, so there are 4 pillars then that we're going to cover, and these are like the strip back, what are absolutely your essentials. Pens at the ready if you have any. So your first one is you need a goal and a plan. So that is, like, for me, it's the bare minimum. You can't just go out on this marathon and go, right, I think I'll just sort of run and just see where I get to. What, you're going to just go down a straight road, hope that you get to a certain point where you can turn around and come back? You need to know where you're taking yourself. You need to have a plan in place around, well, I'll run to there by then, and then I'll run to there by then. You can't see the end position. You can't imagine what your plan or your goal is going to look like in a year's time. So don't stress about that. Just get your initial goals and your initial plan in place. So that's your first one. Your second one is marketing, which is the client attraction piece. We're going to cover that in masses of detail tomorrow. Third one, sales. Who was that said that? Yeah, Pauline. Sales, yeah, you've got to have sales. You've got to be able to sell. You've got to be able to get those people to convert to being paying customers of yours. Otherwise, you've not got business. You've got a great hobby that's probably fun and it kind of lights you up and it's really enthusiastic, but do you know what? Running a business costs you money, regardless of what it is. It will cost you in time, in resources, in even just software licenses. It is costly to run a business, so you're going to need to get the sales to start paying for it and then making that profitable position. You also need confidence. So Caroline, it's like you had a sneaky preview and you've said your biggest challenge is 2 out of the 3 topics we're covering here, because that fourth one, the confidence one, is day 3. So that's Tuesday. So I'm comfortable that we're going to get most of your challenges covered. Has anyone got any questions so far? Let me have a slurp. This is going to get warm and flat, isn't it? It's so nice though. There's something about a cold beer when the sky is beautifully blue, the sun is just setting. It just makes me want to go on holiday. Anyway, okay, pens at the ready then. Let's start with our first of our practical steps. So for me, these are, if you did nothing else, then this is the stage, is that you should take yourself through and be strict about it, be structured about it, and take action in all of these places. Because what you can find, and this is almost the beauty and the beast of working for yourself, when you work for somebody else, they're quite strict on, you're going to need to achieve this by then. So they'll set some sort of boundaries. They might be really strict in that, here's this piece of work, go and do it. But when you work for yourself, you're having to build all that framework of your own, aren't you? You're having to create that, well, what do I do when I get up on a morning action? So your first practical step is to have a vision. Now, by a vision, I don't mean like, sit and have some sort of intervention or tap into something ethereal. If that is your thing, then absolutely do that. But from a vision perspective in terms of your business, it's about understanding, what do you want it to look like? So there's every possible available element to you in terms of your vision. You might envisage your life to be, and therefore your business to be, something which you run from a sun lounger. I'm going to try and pick a beautiful in Bali, never been, assuming it's beautiful, where you can serve your clients through a very virtual sense, and you can just live a very relaxed life. It might be that you want a very hands-on business and that you want to get really, really involved, you want masses of clients, you want your day absolutely jam-packed, and you're quite happy with the house that you already live in. I think there's a fly. Did anyone see that? But whatever is your vision for your business, what you have to form it, you have to create it. So it might be that you want to be able to give up your full-time role. So Joanna said that. So if you're still balancing the two, then is it that your earnings are able to sort of do that switch over, so that then you are earning enough or more than you were in a previous role? Is it that you do it for the love of it, do it for the pleasure of doing the thing that you do, and actually it's not about the money for you? Is it because you feel that you have a real connection, you have a gift? So think about what your ideal is, and this goes beyond just your business. And I think, you know, that's the key. When people are told, well, you should set yourself a plan, you should set yourself a vision, the first thing people say is, well, you know, I want a business that's this and this. If you can expand that and make it bigger than your business, then you can start to root it a lot more deeply into the emotion that you have and that you experience. So start to think about something which is in your vision and share it. Let's start seeing what people are thinking. Have you already considered? Are you already working towards that? But what's your really big, this is where I want to think about where I am. You might want a house on a beach. You might want to live on a boat. You might want to live in a mountain in totally cut off, and just sort of be able to have your Wi-Fi and do your thing on there. But you know, what is it that your life is going to look like when you've reached that position, that your business is successful? And this isn't like next year. This is way, way on. Might be 10 years, 20 years. What does that look like? Someone share, because the more that you visualize it, and the more that you externalize some of these ideas, the more that you're allowing your mind to expand, to consider the possible. Because, you know, it's that whole thing about you can only ever achieve as much as you can dream. So if you can only think small, you'll only ever achieve small. So, you know, how big is it? Is it monetary based? And if so, well, what's that money going to allow? So for my own, and this is something which I change and I evolve my goals as time goes on, but for me, ultimately, I want to be able to get our family to a position where my husband can leave his full-time work. Now, previously, he travelled a huge amount, so in the weeks my children wouldn't see him, he'd be tired in the evenings, and at the weekends he kind of was just recovering. So for me, I would like to be able to say to him, well, look, there's enough for us to now alleviate that stress for you. You can do something else. You could even go down to a less hours and do something else. So that's, for me, that's my big goal. But of course, there's stepping stones along the way. So someone share, come on, don't be shy. Because if you say it out loud, suddenly you're going, right, okay, this suddenly means am I doing this then? Have I admitted that? Nobody's judging you on it. It's just, it's interesting to see what people are starting to feel around, well, I'm just trying to pay the bills. And if it is just I'm just trying to pay the bills, okay, well, how will your life feel if you're paying the bills through something that you developed yourself? Surely you want an easier way to pay your bills, because there's so many ways that you could. You can stack shelves on a night shift, you can do all sorts to be able to pay your bills, but well, what's it going to mean to your life if you make your business successful? So tell me, no one's telling me, you're all being really shy, all the comments are not working. I suspect you're being shy. The other way to think of it is what do you want to be remembered for? What's that thing that when you might get 5 years, 10 years down the line, and there might be like a local recognition thing, and then someone go, oh yes, that's Caroline, she's the one that does blah blah blah, or she helps people do X, or what's that thing that is going to connect you into what you do that you'll be remembered for? There we go. Pauline. help people and earn at the same time. Beautiful. Yeah, that's good. You can add to that, I'm sure. Anne-Marie, living a life where I have 2 properties and an office of staff. Brilliant. Second, travel to my second property abroad. Lovely. So you can leave people in the UK. Excellent. Yeah, love that. Cocktail bar meetings with clients. Beautiful. Love, love, love that. Yeah. I love that you've got personal life in there. You've got home life. You've got 2 different locations. Yeah, love it. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. That's really good. So Caroline, to be able to afford our lifestyle with freedom to spend time with our children. Yeah, time's a big thing, isn't it? And actually there's always a trade-off, isn't there? There's a money versus time decision to be made almost all the time, which it's only ever up to us, but that's not what we're normally exposed to. We absolutely trade time for money, and we're taught that's true really from an early age. So the more time you put in, the more money you'll earn, which absolutely is not true. You can earn your choice as long as you're totally focused on what it is you want to do and you're delivering that in a really authentic, true way. I think that's key. So you work long shifts at the moment as a mental health nurse in the minute with 3 young children. Okay, so you've got a pretty tough gig right now and you want to spend more time with them. So again, yeah, we're back to that. Need to earn at least the same as a nurse in your business before you can leave. Yeah, so again, it's that tipping point, isn't it, for you, Joanna? Yeah. So, it's really reminding yourself of that, because it's tough, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat your ability to, well, I'm just going to be able to do this and this. It is tough working for yourself. There's days when it's just amazing and it goes fabulously and it feels like you're on fire. There's days when you get up and you go, flipping it, this is hard. So actually reminding yourself what that vision is really important, and having it really conscious in your mind all the time, that on the days that are tough, you can go, okay, right, tap back into the why am I doing this? Deborah, hello. And that should then sort of give you that, okay, now I remember why I'm doing this. This is what I'm working towards. It's the place in Cyprus. It's the freedom to be with my kids. It's the additional time. Being able to know that is always there. It's almost like your foundation element of, this is where I want to start from. And once you've got that in place, the other stuff ends up being much more solid. It stays in place a lot more easily, just like the foundation is of any house. Deborah, it's lovely to have you. Thank you for the love. Okay, so, here we go. I want my staff to be single mums and give them new opportunities. Yeah, beautiful. So there's so many waves of help then, that you can help others help themselves. Yeah, that's good. Love it. You don't want to be a poor pensioner when the time comes. Well, that is thinking ahead. Love that. Yeah, absolutely. It's about security, isn't it? And being able to live your life now, here and now, knowing that actually you've sorted out the future. Yeah, there's a bit of that too. Good. Looking to becoming a life coach. That's your ultimate long-term goal. Brilliant. Fabulous. So, Joanna, I would say, what's stopping you doing that now then? Is it a case of starting one thing because you think you should, but actually you've still got your job, haven't you? You did the nurse role that is paying the bills. So, what's stopping you? What's stopping you making that leap and doing that thing? It's slightly a rhetorical question, that one, by the way. But knowing what they are, knowing what your goals are, and tethering yourself to them with emotions, with feelings, with what's this going to mean for me? That's your first step. That is your absolute first, like, minimum standard stuff. Like, you'd be mad to start building a house or training for your marathon without a plan in place, wouldn't you? You need your plan. You need your goals. Where am I aiming for? And why am I aiming for them? So that's your first one. Your second one is making them really specific. So this is less, almost like the step below your big vision, your really big kind of, okay, so that's my huge, I've got a house here and I've got money coming in here, I can pay for this and I can do this. So what then is the next step beyond that? Almost like, okay, so when I get up on a morning, I may well have created my vision, but it doesn't tell me what actions to take. So for that, you need goals. You need SMART goals. Now, I did a coffee chat, I think, on Thursday on SMART goals, which has got heaps around how to set them, how to really tie yourself into those goals, the methodology of setting them, but then we also crucially looked at how to deal with it when you don't hit your goal, because goals can be amazingly motivating. They can push you on, they can make you think about things in different ways, but what if you don't meet them and you kind of hit, so you set yourself a particular goal of something that's you felt was achievable, and then you don't hit them? That can feel horrible, and actually it can demotivate you as well. So understanding how to be able to get past that and actually rewrite your goal, realign yourself to your goal, and have that really truthful conversation with yourself around, well, why did I miss it? You know, did I turn up totally and take the true action I should have done? Did I shy away from something that I'm perhaps not admitting to? Did I this? And being really deep about why you believe you missed that goal is better than getting cross about it. However, I get cross about it. When I miss something, I get really cross and I get stroppy, and I'll strop around the house for a bit. And then I'll normally take myself out, have a word with myself, come back and go, okay, what will I do differently next time? What did I not do? How should I? And analyse it like you would almost as an external, so sort of step back from it so you're not quite as sort of emotional about it, and try and realign yourself and then go again. Because the last thing I want to say is go and create some goals that are going to stretch you and they're going to push you on to motivate you to do this, and then you don't hit them and you go, well, I'm not setting any more goals because it just made me cross. Goals have a hugely powerful part to play in taking a business forward, but you have to use them in the right way, and you've got to be able to take sort of personal criticism and analyse it to get out the other side of them. So has anyone got any goals? Have any of you written a goal that you're happy to share? If you have, type it in, because again, it's good for you to see what the fact that other people are working towards something, and you're not on your own with your yes but this, and someone will think I'm silly. And do you know what? The more times you say your goal, share your goal, see your goal, so like post-it notes, whatever works for you, written on the front of the fridge, on a printout, a bit of note paper on the bathroom mirror, whatever it is, seeing your goal regularly starts to help your brain work out how you're going to get to it. So again, typing it in, getting yourself used to using those words. What is it you're working towards? How are you doing against them? It's all good to really get them really deep seated. So I'm just going to scroll back, check I haven't missed any. So Anna says, you'd like to grow your business, have a stable second income. Okay, so this is your vision piece. Also, but also by doing this, I want to give opportunity to other people to join and build a big team together. Yeah, it's good. So it's not just you, it's about flexible working opportunity. Brilliant. So it's not just yourself, it's going to make a difference to other people's lives, and then presumably, because they could have families, it's about them making something better for themselves, isn't it? Joanna, yeah, transition from one to the other gradually. Yeah, that was around the coaching, I think. Okay, vision board, brilliant. Beautiful white, yes, like it. Got a car in there as well. And do you know what? Absolutely, having some big things in your goals which are practical and they feel indulgent and they feel, they feel a bit like, wow, a bit scary almost, like, could I really? Then they're good. They're really good if you have things like that included in your vision, because it's them that should excite you and start a bit of passion and like, oh, really? Dare I even think I could have that? Hell yes. Get it in your list. Get it on the board, on your vision, however it is you created it. If people are artistic, then sketch it, draw it, describe it. If you like words, type it, record it into something, tell yourself, do like a little video to yourself about it, whatever works for you. It's a great way of just saying it out loud. Smart goals, yay. Reevaluate as you go. Yes, you do need to. Yeah, there's no point in just writing them and putting them in the drawer. Is there another way that this can be done? Yeah, so actually knowing that you're going to miss, you can fix that before you actually miss your goal. Of course you can, and you should almost sort of, right, well, I didn't realise I was going off over here, so I need to sort of pull myself back and get back on track so that I'm in the right place. But sometimes you can have been pulled off the track before you even know that you think you're working towards this thing which is really pushing you on, but actually it's just a distraction. And it can even be the the gremlins getting into your head and going, do that thing, you know, go and design a logo and build an amazing website and do this, and you need this system, and you go off and do all of these things that you think are moving yourself forward, but it's not always. Pauline, goal is to invest at least one property per year. Brilliant, love it. Yeah, great place to have your money, isn't it? So Deborah currently writing an online course to release in 8 to 10 weeks, followed by an ebook. Lovely, brilliant. Like the fact that you've got a time frame on that too. Fab. Caroline's set a goal to launch my first arm of my business. LinkedIn posts and regular content. Nice. Got to get it out there. People aren't going to, you know, they're not going to come and buy from you if you're the world's best kept secret, are they? Self-development, halfway through this goal. Fabulous. So you've downgraded your current car to help save. Then having a beautiful car on there is perfect, isn't it? It's definitely a great place to start. But do you know what? Sometimes it's what do you need to do to compromise on to then push yourself forward, because avoiding dealing with things that you might need help with or additional resources that you might need is just sort of elongating the whole process, as opposed to getting the help, getting the resource, getting the systems up and running, and then being able to be up and running that bit quicker. So it's that sort of, okay, so I feel like I might have gone back a little bit, but look how much further I'm going to be able to go, because there's a whole heap of missed opportunity, isn't there, if you don't, and you wait and you go, oh no, not yet, when I've this then that. I'm not a fan of this. When I've got my first 3 clients, I'll buy a new laptop, which I totally did, by the way. Pin my vision board on your mobile wallpaper. Oh, brilliant idea. Yes, so it's there all the time. Deborah saying, okay, well, Deborah, be interesting to know what Anne-Marie, Deborah says it'd be interesting to know. I'm going to cough and or sneeze, sorry. Oh yes, so Anne-Marie is with us on the 555 launch pad. I've got a really weird sensation in my nose and it's going to make my eyes water. I'm so sorry. Be interesting to see you. Every online is useful. Be interesting to see. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Rasha. Be interesting to see. Yeah. So learning, everything is online, isn't it? The world's online now. Step back, push forward, in the process of writing the first online course and a podcast. Lovely. There's a new one. Yeah, we've not talked about podcasts, have we? So there's lots going on, and I love the fact that you've got something in mind. If you don't, I'm not trying to shame you by a long way, but just have a think. If it's that, oh, I daren't because I'm really scared of it, or yes, but I think I need to this and I think I need the other, then, you know, it's really about working through whatever that thing is to get yourself into that place of, yes, I know that this goal is good, and yes, I know that it feels right to work towards this thing. And, you know, this stuff, let's not forget, this stuff is not meant to be easy, because if it was easy, literally everybody would do it. Everyone would be multimillionaires because they'd all be making money online through one source or another, and it would just be like the way that we lived. It would just be like air, wouldn't it? Everyone would do it. It isn't easy. So don't beat yourself up about the fact that things don't come naturally. You don't immediately know exactly what your goal is going to be. Well, you know, it's about getting that help, isn't it, to formulate it and knowing that the goal is right. So when you have got that concentrated effort working on your thing, that's what you're going to be able to move yourself forward on. So it's giving yourself a break, but doing the work at the same time. Okay, number 3. Little slurp. Weird, really weird. I've got a bit of hay fever. I don't know whether it's that. But... Okay, the third is effectively marketing by another name. So we're going to talk about methods to do this by attracting your clients towards you without having a massive budget. We're going to talk about that all tomorrow, so I'm not going to dwell on this one too long. All I will say though is that you need to choose how you want to get your message to the world, because if you are going to create and you're going to develop what it is you want to offer and then you don't tell anyone about it, how are they going to know? How are they going to come to you? How are they going to buy from you? Now, I did totally this. I sat and I wrote masses of resources. I wrote an ebook, I did a massive course. I did so much stuff before I even went out and try and find the clients and find out what their problem was. It was unbelievable. So then when I did, I sort of open the doors and go, right, everyone, here it is, my thing. And then nobody came. It was heart-wrenching. It was soul-destroying, demotivating. It was horrible. But actually, if I'd done it the other way round and gone out and said, I've got this that I'm going to offer, but not actually having done it, then actually the clients that had come to me and start having those conversations would have helped me shape what it is they actually wanted, because I can think they know. Everyone thinks they know what somebody is likely to need, but you're not always totally your own ideal client. You might be 9/10, because lots of us probably want an ideal client that's similar to ourselves in some shape or fashion, but if it isn't totally and utterly you, you don't know what they might be thinking compared to how you might have dealt with it. They've had different experiences which have got them to the place they're in at the moment, which is now potentially their buying decision or their decision to come and work with you. So actually understanding what that is before going, right, well, I've written everything because I know best. You know, it's almost sort of, it's upside down, as opposed to going, okay, so this is how I help people, getting them in towards you, getting the feedback. You know, there's a huge amount for me in asking you these questions, because it tells me what it is you're struggling with. It tells me where you need some help. It tells me how to shape what I do so that I can do what I do better for you. You know, and I'm not attempting to hide that is part of the reason that I do these free challenges, that it's two-way. You're getting content from me, you're getting value from me, I'm getting the same from you, and every single conversation I have with a client makes me go, yeah, that's interesting. I could probably do with understanding that a little bit more, go do some research, do this. So every time I offer a program, it's different to the last, because I've had more conversations, more experience with working with clients, with talking to potential clients, with having all these interactions. So it shapes what I do. And I think knowing that you're doing that almost kind of, it relieves the pressure on you of making these decisions, assuming you know these things. I've gone off totally into that dead end, rather than talking about tell the world what you do. Telling the world about what you do is about being visible to your potential people. Now, you might not know where they are. You might not know what is going to tick the box for them, but you've got a vague idea. Let's just read before I gather my thoughts. Contact your prospective clients to work out what they're looking for. Yes, absolutely. Market research first. So, while we're on this subject, I'm going to go totally off for a minute then. Let me tell you how this evolved, what I do now. I decided to niche down again. So I originally started my business helping women with confidence, and it was too broad. And it was to the degree of somebody wanting help to get a promotion into a board to somebody who didn't want to go out of the house on a morning. They were both lacking confidence, but in a very different way. It had some success, but it was a slog and it was hard. It didn't feel right for me. It didn't feel like I was bringing the right clients in. So when I niched down to do business coaching for early days, women looking at their online businesses, I took a total, I don't know what possessed me. I had a rare Saturday afternoon when my family had all gone out to watch the rugby. It's one of those days of like the defining moment in my business that I don't share this one very often, this little storytelling while we go off. Are you having a surf while I, once upon a time? And I saw this post and it said, you were allowed to promote your free stuff. So I thought, oh, okay. I haven't actually got any free stuff at the moment, but I'll put in what it is I do and tell people that what I'll do is a program for it. And I'm looking for some people to come into my program to beta test it effectively. So I wasn't going to charge for it. I was just going to ask them for feedback as they went through it. I put this post in thinking, it's a big group. I'm unlikely to get anyone. And if I do, they probably won't be the right people. So I did this post and it went mad for me in those days. It went like huge. I had 35 messages and I sort of ended up effectively sifting through the people that were right for me or not. like I hadn't, let's just be clear. So this was on a Saturday afternoon. I'd also said, by the way, it was starting on the Monday. I had not written a single part of that course, like nothing. I had had the brainchild probably over the previous week to start niching down and to start taking the skills that I already had and how I'd grown, what I had done, tweaking it a little bit, and then helping others do the same. That was it. That was the idea that I'd had. I had no idea what course I would do. I had no idea how I would present that. But I'd been through a coaching program myself, so I kind of thought, well, I'm going to base it vaguely on that. But I was starting like on the Monday, and this ended up being a 7-part course. I'm using that word so loosely. I'm not looking to try and insult anyone who is a course producer. So I was writing the day in between. I did them every other day because what I wanted ultimately with it would be a long program, but I couldn't keep these people for free for that long. So I said, right, we're going to do 14 days, and every other day I'm going to do a live with you. I'm going to present my content. We'll do it, in group training, and I want your feedback. So yeah, literally Saturday, I was delivering the first one Monday, got some feedback. Did that land? Yes, it did. What else is your challenge? Well, I struggle with this. I wrote the next one on the Tuesday to deliver on the Wednesday, and that continued for the rest of the time. Now, that actually fundamentally has shaped what I still do. So the headings of all the areas of the academy that's just started, the pieces that I've pulled from the academy for the Launchpad 555 program, they all are born in some way or another from that action. So it was absolutely a defining moment for me, but I could have waited another 6 months sitting going, right, what do I think people want, and trying to create it. It feels like a bit flying by the seat of your pants, and I totally get that not everyone's comfortable with that. But what it meant was that I was literally answering the questions that were challenging the people that had come towards me for help. I wasn't second guessing that they needed this, this and this. It was genuinely born from, well, this is a problem for me, I really struggle with that, plus the knowledge that I'd got on my business, plus the coaching that I'd got. And it was like a hybrid of the two. And that worked so much better than the previous approach where I'd sort of sat down literally and done my own research and just kind of bashed out this course on my own. So I know that was a little storytelling digress, but there's a huge power to be taken from that. Don't assume you have to have everything ready when you tell people, because you can absolutely shape it as you go. And why would you not? You're going to adapt it. It's fine to have a framework. It's fine to have a kind of generic understanding of you need to know where you're taking people. So what are they suffering with, or what do they require at the moment versus what can you help them with? But you don't need to know all the steps in between, because you're gonna kind of do that as you go. And that's the same of whatever service it is you're providing, whether it's VA, whether it's even digital products. It could be that you're actually providing one thing and you might end up stemming down another road, and you need to be flexible as opposed to this is what I provide, like it or lump it, because more people, frankly, will lump it than like it. So, having that willing to change on the fly is going to be really, really helpful as you develop and evolve what it is you want to deliver. And when you find out who's coming towards you in terms of an ideal client as well. Little digress. Did that make sense? Did that help everyone? Because I think I had a massive fear that I had to have everything done, and like everyone must have already done all their stuff already. Why would they? You can't sell something you haven't written. I believe there are many people not writing what they've written. Absolutely. I'm sure there are. Sorry, I'm coughing. This is a lot of talking in one go. Okay, right, are we ready to move on? This does make sense to some of you. Good. Okay, so then pillar 4 is, your practical step 4, is the feeling. So this is now the sales element effectively. And you have to sell somebody based on an emotion. And, well, why? So first, let's explore the why. So if you sell a thing, just like a physical thing, let's call it a candle. I've got a candle, can you see it? It smells amazing, to the point where it scents this room even without being on. And it was a birthday present, but I'm going to find this, and it smells fab. So let's say this is the other thing that you sell. If you sold that by saying, well, I sell a candle and it can make your room smell nice, they look really nice on the shelf because you can get some beautiful pots and sort of presentation things for it, you know, go ahead and treat yourself. Okay, so you've told me what it is, what it does, and hopefully some of the benefits. It looks nice and it's going to smell nice. But if you could go deeper than that and sell them around how it feels, how is the scent going to make them feel? And the easiest way to be able to do this, because this probably sounds like what are you on about, is to keep asking yourself, so what? So almost like if you've listed out all the features or the benefits as you see them for the thing that you do, whatever the thing is, this works for anything, I promise you. So you write them all down on the left hand side of your piece of paper. And then on the right hand side of the piece of paper, you write at the top, so what? So then for each one, you write, okay, so it makes the room smell nice. So what? Well, it'll feel inviting when you walk into the room. So what? It'll be a nice space to be. You'll enjoy being in that place. So what? It'll make you feel, and ultimately you will absolutely get to, it will make you feel, or it will this, or it will, you know, and it gets to the emotional sense. And that's what we make decisions on, and that's what we kind of get driven by, and it makes us tick and it makes us buy again, because you've been sold on the feeling. So, you know, we don't buy expensive things because necessarily they're 10 times better than the cheaper equivalent. It probably still does the job in the same way, but you want that feeling, don't you? You want that, oh, I feel so good putting on this jacket because, you know, it feels so soft, or this pair of boots that, you know, the leather is just divine. You know, you could have bought a £10 pair of boots which covered your feet and sort of kept them dry, but actually this £150 pair of boots, it feels better. Well, why? Because you feel better wearing them, you feel more confident, you stand taller. You can always, always, always get to the emotional level. So, as I say, the best tool of doing that is using your so what. And doing that exercise, if you literally get a piece of paper and pop it down, you've created on that sheet a whole heap of potential content to use for posting on social media, to creating a blog, to doing a live on. You've got a heap of content right there to take people through that emotional journey. You know, why is it that I want you to buy these candles? Well, when you've had a really bad day, you might feel upset, stressed, like the whole world's on top of you. You walk through the door, your house smells amazing. Immediately you get that feeling of relaxation. You know that you can chill, you can spend time with your family, you can feel better about your life again because of these wonderful scents that fill your senses and just relax you from the moment you walk through your door. That's better than saying, I sell a candle that looks nice on your shelf, isn't it? So getting to the point where you can tell them that on an emotional level how you can connect with them is key to sales. They also need to know why they need you. So now, get your fingers typing again. Why do your potential clients need you as opposed to somebody else who does what you do? And there are people who do what you do. And I'm not saying that to intimidate you. There are other people that do almost exactly what you do, but only you do it the way that you do it. So why? What do you bring? Now, I don't want a massive essay, just a couple of words. What is it about you that you deliver, that you give to them, that is better than others? And there's so many different things. It's about you, it's about your personality, it's about your background, it's about your passion, it's about your drive, it's about your experiences, it's about your total and utter commitment to what it is you do. You know, whatever it is, tell me, what is yours? Why should I, now you've told me the feeling about what it is you do, and you've connected with me so that I know it's not just a thing or it's a process that I'll go through. So, okay, so I get that I need that thing, but why do I now need it from you? Because, oh, now I get that. I know I really want it because, like, I want that feeling, but there's someone else that I might as well go to. Why do they need it from you? Reliable and trustworthy. Okay, again, you can use the so what. So what's that going to do? And how can you convey that? You can go deeper with that, Pauline. You can state that you're reliable and trustworthy. Everybody can, can't they? You know, the builder down the road who comes to quote and then never comes back is quoting he's reliable and trustworthy. How do people know that that's true? How can they connect with you? What is it that they're going to sense, they're going to feel? So for me, while you're still thinking and you're obviously all still typing, for me, I would say I am extremely enthusiastic about what I do, which I hope comes across. I'm professional based on the corporate life that I previously had before I became a coach. So you will get the benefit of my corporate upbringing with my unrivaled passion and enthusiasm and drive for what I do, and you'll have all of me. That's mine. Okay, so if you choose to work with me, then why you, Sarah? Because there's loads of business coaches, there's loads of people that help. Well, they've come from a different place than me. They might be 5 years ahead of me, but they're more experienced. Well, do you know what? I can still so feel the struggles for an early days entrepreneur. I can feel that emotion of people asking you how you're getting on and it's not going that well. It is for me really relatable, and I want to be relatable, and I want to help get beyond those feelings that I felt really crippled me. So there's some of mine. Okay, so let's have a look. I love these. Because you're me, yes. Push forward. There needs to be a connection. Yes, there does. There does need to be a connection, absolutely. It depends obviously what it is you're providing, because some are more of a transactional service, but most people in here are more of a long-term sort of service-based relationship. So yes, there does need to be, because do you know what? It's hard serving somebody that just doesn't kind of connect with you. So Anne-Marie says, give 100% to any task, passionately deliver the service, attention to detail, good, yeah. Feel that your tasks are taken care of without even thinking about it. Yeah, really good. Good, yeah, I like that, Anne-Marie. Abundance of positivity and experience to be able to support, yeah. So again, when you make these statements, almost be the devil's advocate. So, well, what could a potential client say? What could that potential client go, oh yeah, but they all say that. Can you evidence it somehow? Not like in I've got all this list of reasons why this and why the other, but can you give examples of where you've gone beyond, where you've shown up, where you perhaps weren't expected? So for me, one of my ladies had a call with a potential client that sort of flips her out. She was really, I'm concerned about, I don't feel prepared to have this conversation. And rather than going, well, your call's a week on Wednesday, we just dived on a call. We had that conversation. Within probably 15 minutes, she got a plan. She was calm. She was enthusiastic. She was happy to take that forward in terms of that conversation with her client. I didn't have to have had that conversation, but it meant the world to her. Therefore, she got the benefit of my experience. There we go. She was happy, and she actually ended up winning that client, which is perfect. But I could evidence some of the statements that I made, and that's really strong. Knowing in your own mind as much as anything that you can evidence it. Not that you're going to have to. In many cases, some people might ask, well, how do you know, or how can you prove that, or can you give me an example when? But not often. But if you know it in here, you can sort of say it and be it and live it and stand in that confidence of what it is you do so much more. Joanna, knowledgeable, like to train team members, mindset and sales techniques. Funny, light-hearted, brilliant, yep. So a bit of personality in there too. Goal-orientated, how to push and motivate. Yeah, really good. Brilliant, great combination of stuff. Relatable is key. Yeah, so everyone's got a story, haven't they, about how they got to do what they do now and how they have ended up doing what they do, and that's big for people. That's important for them to understand. So in the process of creating that relationship and that connection, often telling your story can be massively powerful, and actually more powerful than a sales pitch can, because making yourself a human being, making it real for them, that's worth its weight in gold, totally. Pauline, yeah, go that extra mile. Yeah, lovely. Positive and encouraging. Yeah, I guess that's key for you, isn't it, Emma, that the people need to know they're really coming on and you can see that they're improving and trying because you care. Yeah, lovely. For me, a dozen means 13. Always do something extra. Yeah, I can relate to that. Yeah, so it's concentrating on that person. Totally like that. Passion for the journey, believe strongly in the potential within everyone. 11 years in education. Yeah, you can relate. So making that, drawing that similarity. Started in sales, didn't want to, wish to continue. Yeah. So you've got both the practical, you've got the sort of evidence-based. I've done this before. I can do this and I can do this and I can apply myself to that. So there's all sorts of evidence there. Yeah, absolutely. So can you see how being able to not just connect with people on an emotional level, but also on a practical level is key with sales, and being able to know that you've got that broad experience, that evidence of how it is you're going to do your thing, and that you're going to do it in a really specific way. You're not going to be the, out of the box, just boggo thing. You're bringing something else, and whatever it is about your personality, bring it, let it shine. Don't be suppressing anything about yourself. Bring it in all its glory. So if you've got purple hair or green hair, or you really like cats and there's always cats on the videos, or walking over your desk while you're working, bring it, because that will connect really closely with people that connects to. And those that aren't cat people or like people with purple hair are going to go anyway. So, let them go quicker. Bong, off you go, and draw the ones who are right for you much more closer to you, that bit quicker as well. Okay, fab, that's your number 4. That's your feeling, selling your feeling. And number 5 then is to deliver more than is expected. So we talked about this before, this raised quite a bit of a debate, because people were concerned that, well, what I've decided to offer is this. Are you saying like I need to offer way, way more? Not necessarily. And the way to think of this is, what is it that you offer that creates another problem? So let me use a water provider as an example, and you'll see how this grows. So say you're selling one of those upside down bottles that dispenses water in like an office or a gym or whatever. So you phone and you sell the water, and it's reasonably priced, it's kind of competitive, and they go, yeah, I have the water, yeah, sounds great. But you've created a problem for them because they need the very specific, like your bottle shape doesn't fit on the standard whatever, so they now need the thing underneath. So you're going to need to find a way of satisfying that need. So of course you'd say, oh well, actually, we've got this other thing as well, so that can solve that problem. Oh right, no, that's brilliant, yeah, of course I'll have one of those as well then. Well, now this thing needs to be cleaned, it needs to be serviced, it might need some gas in it. So you add on then like a maintenance package or a cleaning contract, so you need to look at what it is you're trying to sell, what is your offer, what problems does it create, and you've almost got to go, right, well, I'm solving all the problems. You're not. You're never solving all the problems. And if you can then add something on or present it in a different way that allows you then to solve the problem at the same time. So let's use a more specific example. I guess it is cross-selling, but it's all connected with the same thing that you had. So let's take the program that I have and the way that I structure the help that I provide clients. Well, what if they are really, really pressed for time, and actually they're more of an audible learner as opposed to a visual, and they're not really keen on worksheets, so they just want to listen. Rather than allowing that to put them off, well, why don't I just create an MP4 an audible file for what it is I've presented? So rather than that being a barrier to some people, well, actually, all the training is also available in this format as well. Okay, fine. Well, what about I don't have enough time? It sounds like a big time commitment. I don't have time to do all that training. Okay, so how long at the moment are you spending on your business? Well, I'm probably spending 3 or 4 hours a day. Okay, and is that productive? Are you getting clients coming to you? Well, no, not really. Okay, so what if you could spend 40 minutes a day doing a small training module and then work through the actions that come off the back of that for an hour? You've still only spent half the time, but you've actually used it sensibly. So, by having a time limit, by being clear about what it is that I've presented, I've solved the problem that I created or their objection. So knowing what your product service is key. Obviously that you've got to be very familiar with what it is you're offering and how it's going to help your potential client. But then knowing what they're going to say, how they're going to object to, yeah, but it's not for me because, okay, well, this might help you with that decision, then this might help you with that decision. And it might be that it's turning what you've already done into an ebook or into a digital list, or being able to provide something which then bolsters this. So it's sort of it's not cross-selling in that they're different products, so that you're coming from that product from there and then that product from there. They're almost like you've got a core still of what you do, and then you're adding these little bits on around the side, which all end up solving the problem and the greater problem. Does that make sense? Does anyone got any questions about that? Deborah says yes, that makes sense. Good-o. Just going to have a shuffle. And knowing that you do that for each time as well, it could well be that you might have, I don't know, let's say you're selling something which is a 5-part thing, and you were going to just sell the 5-part thing. Well, what if you only sell the 3-part thing, but then you effectively present the other 2 bits as the additional benefits? Do you see? So it's not reinventing, it's not recreating what you've already done. It's looking at it in a slightly different way and cutting it. It's linking what you do, absolutely, so that you can get over those objections. You can move yourself into a place where there's a solution for every potential objection that they might well come up with. So let's summarise before my voice totally gives out. What time are we? Just gone 9, it's not too bad. Okay, so let's just recap on, not sure how you can do this with VA work. Okay, absolutely, Anne-Marie, you can, because I think effectively you would offer a core of services for what it is you would do, but then in the same way that, I don't know, doing someone's oh no, mine's going to go blank now. So let's say you were going to do copywriting, or an element of kind of creating something creative for them. So you've done that part for them. Okay, so what problem is that now created for them? Well, what are they going to do with it? They can't just take it often as it is. I'm using this slightly tenuous example because this is what Becky does for me. So I produce a sort of sketch out of what I want her to do, but then I actually also need a graphic. So you can produce the thing that you do, but then, well, what else? Is that done? Is that totally it? Well, no, because I've now got a problem in that I need a graphic for that, or I need to be able to schedule that into all the various different platforms that it goes onto, and all the different parts of Facebook and onto LinkedIn. And so rather than just saying, well, I can create this article for you, or I can copyright it, I can edit it a little bit. Well, do you want me to create a graphic for that as well? Or, do you want me to then look to post that? And, you can keep going and keep going. I'm using an example that I'm familiar with for there, but there will be the same things, that what you offer in the initial is this package, but then that actually there are other add-on additional benefits that's kind of exposes, in which case it's like an upsell, I guess. It's like an upsell, cross-sell. Yeah, it's kind of like expanding the package that it is you would offer. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we're going to look at that and possibly moving what you do into packages. So it isn't just well, I'll do whatever you ask me to. It shows that you've thought about, well, if I do that for you, I also know you're going to need this. So therefore, we can add that on for that. Offer a core service of project work or related skills. Yeah. So it's not going to be obvious straight away. So we'll work through that, Anne-Marie. But I think being able to step into your ideal client as well, and that's a big piece for everybody. I don't care what it is you're selling. Being able to genuinely sit in the mind, in the shoes, in the life that your ideal client is experiencing. You could well have come up with something that solves this thing that you know is like a big grey cloud, and it's really what you want to help them with. But actually, what else is that impacting? Is there some other stuff that's going on which is related to that thing? And in which case, can you help with that to some level? I'm not saying water down or distill your core. Absolutely not. It still needs to be true to the thing that you're offering and your skill set and your expertise. But you'll see that there are other elements, and almost sort of it's like I'm doing this with my fingers because it is almost like a spider diagram. I'm imagining that you've got your core thing, and then you offer that thing, and then that thing could lead on to that thing, and that thing to that, and then they can all interweave. That actually, if you've offered that thing there, then it could be that you offer that over here as well, and those two connect. So yeah, if you're able to, then start getting it down. Okay, so I was summarising, wasn't I? Okay, so your 4 pillars to your business success. Your first one is your goals and your plan. So you need to know where you're going, what your business plan is, and this one is specific to your business. You need to be able to market. That's what we're going to cover tomorrow. You need to be able to sell. We've touched on a little bit of that today, not in masses of detail though, however, we have touched on it. And then you also need total confidence in what it is you're doing, like total. If you sound a bit ropey on what it is you do, who's going to believe you? You know, who's going to want to buy from you? Who's going to believe anything you say? If you're not totally in your superpower, in your like, I know that I've totally got this and I can do this and I can help you and I can this and I can the other, then that's what people will buy, because they know that you're confident in it, and heck, if you are, then they'll come along with you. You know, that is the mentality that we all follow. We follow somebody who is confident in what they do. They give example behaviours that you want to become, that you want to be able to behave like. That is why people gravitate towards sort of charismatic people. So, you know, that's your confidence thing. So we're going to cover that in day 3. So the practical steps today are: number 1, create your vision. So this is bigger than your business. This is about life. This is your huge, living in Cyprus, having 2 homes, buying a house every year. That's your big stuff, your really big vision. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Go as big and wild as you possibly can. Then you start to set your goals from that, so that you know that your vision is kind of there, but you need some steps along the way. So that is your goals. Your number 3 is that you've got to tell the world repeatedly what you do. Like, don't assume they know. Never assume that people know what you do. Keep telling them, keep reminding them, keep telling them how you can help them. 4 was sell a feeling, so be able to communicate with them at that level of, this is how I can help you, and this is how it's going to touch you as a feeling, and ultimately then that will lead them to, yes, I really want that outcome, so why through you is the next stage. So you've sold them the feeling, now you can authentically, genuinely tell them why it is you're best for them to help them with their thing. And then number 5 is deliver more than you perhaps originally expected to, and certainly more than they expected. You know, is it through the way that they're able to communicate with you? Is it the means by which you're able to deliver the thing? Going that extra, being a 13, not a 12. You know, is it that piece? Just be more, because it's so much easier to retain a client than go and have to find another one. Plus, they're a massive advocate. If you over deliver for people, they will sing your praises, they will be a supporter, and that will breed and breed, and it will snowball, which is a beautifully positive thing. So they are your 5 for today. That's not bad, 1 hour and 15. That was heaps of content. Has anybody got any questions while I'm just literally going to wrap up? Please type your questions. How's it been? There's been tons to tell you, I know, but yeah, I've loved it. Thank you for participating. So one final thing to tell you. Business Launchpad 555 is still enrolling. So we are starting this course the week after next. Where are we now? Sunday night. So not during this week, the following week we are starting the Business Launchpad 555. So this is a core element of the Academy, which is my 12-week program. This is really the absolute headline elements of what we're going to be able to kind of make a difference to your business as quickly as possible over just 5 weeks. So it's 5 weeks, 5 coaching calls, 5 totally different topics. If this has made sense to you, and if you know you're struggling with a certain element in your business, I would love to talk to you. And you know what? Not because I think, oh, I'm going to be able to definitely help you, but let's just have a chat. So if you're sitting on that fence thinking, oh yeah, but I can do all this, I've got this, I'm watching all these free trainings. Well, are you moving yourself on? Because I was totally a freebie junkie. I would watch everything and anything going, but until you actually start taking the action that's aligned for you, you'll still be in that place of when someone asks you how it's going, you'll have that moment of, I'm going to have to say again that it's not quite where I want it to be. So, you know, this is a short program that 5 weeks time you'll be done. The training snippets are all bite-sized, they're not massive. Anne-Marie has started doing some binge watching already of them, and you know, they are easy to access. You get an online platform where you do it in your own time, in your own way, and then you come on those coaching calls with any which question you want to ask. So if you've just got that, oh, I can't, well, why can't you? What's stopping you? What are you avoiding addressing that could take your business to another level? You know, you could be attracting clients during that 5 weeks. You could be getting that offer really nailed. You could be connecting with those ideal clients and really making your business genuinely take off. So I'm not going to labour. I'm only enrolling until Saturday, and then that's it. I'm consolidating everybody in, and we'll start the following week. If you enrol with me over the phone, you will literally get access immediately. So as I say, Anne-Marie's working through the content already. You don't have to wait until the calls start. You can start getting some grounding in some of the modules already. And yeah, it's a fabulous little intense start to take your business to another level. So if you're even remotely sitting on that fence, please don't for long. Let's have that conversation during this week. And if you book a call with me before Wednesday, there is a little freebie for you, which is a financial planner template to help you start getting control of those finances and understanding where you need to be, where you'd like to be, and the differences of making those steps toward them. So if you book a call with me before Wednesday, I will literally just email you that planner, you know, regardless of enrollment or otherwise. So book the call. The link to how to do that is, I think I did a post which should have gone live already. It will be in the group, I think, at 9 o'clock. It's a quick half-an-hour chat. It's not a hard sell, I promise, and we'll see whether we're right. If you are, brilliant. If you're not, then maybe it's not for you at the moment, but I'll leave it for you to think about. I will see you tomorrow, where we are looking at those freebie client attraction methods. Again, another jam-packed full day of content for you. Go and have a fabulous day tomorrow. I hope Mondays are good for you. And let me just check there's no other questions. No. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, fab. No, just thank you. It's brilliant. Right, well, thank you for staying with me, and I'll see you same time, same place at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Go and have a beautiful rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone. Bye.